When people tell the truth, it doesn't always look the way we expect. You might think honesty always comes with steady eye contact, a calm voice, and a confident body posture. But psychology shows us that truth-telling is far more complex, and often, it looks much more human, sometimes awkward, sometimes hesitant, sometimes even a little clumsy. In fact, some behaviors we mistake as signs of lying are actually the very behaviors that reveal someone is being genuine. Today, we're going to explore 6 fascinating things people tend to do when they're telling the truth. By the end, you'll not only recognize these signs in others, but you'll also understand yourself better in moments when you feel vulnerable and honest. Now, why does this matter? Because our relationships, our jobs, and even our daily conversations all depend on trust. Whether it's your child explaining what happened at school, a friend sharing their feelings, or a colleague reporting on a project, knowing how honesty really shows up can help us avoid misjudging people. Too often, we label someone as suspicious simply because they don't behave the way we expect. But if we understand the psychology of truth-telling, we give people the gift of being seen accurately. So let's dive into the psychology of honesty and uncover 6 real-life signs people display when they're speaking the truth. One of the first and most surprising signs is that people who are telling the truth often avoid eye contact. This goes against the common stereotype that liars are the ones who look away. In reality, research has shown that liars often force eye contact too much because they want to appear convincing. On the other hand, truthful people sometimes break eye contact because honesty can feel vulnerable. Imagine telling someone about a painful mistake you made, or confessing something embarrassing. You're far more likely to look down, glance away, or fiddle with your hands. The act of avoiding eye contact in those moments isn't deception. It's simply the brain protecting you from feeling too exposed. If you catch yourself or someone else looking away while sharing something important, remember, that can be a sign of truth, not a lie. Another fascinating behavior is that people telling the truth may hesitate or pause more often. Think about it. When you're recalling a real memory, your brain is sifting through actual experiences. That means your mind might take longer to pull up the details. The color of the shirt you wore, the exact words someone said, or the time something happened. Liars, on the other hand, sometimes rush to deliver their story smoothly because they've rehearsed it. But genuine truth-tellers may stumble a little, say or need to pause to think. It's like your brain double-checking a mental filing cabinet before it hands over the facts. Those small pauses can actually be proof that the story is rooted in reality. The third thing people do when telling the truth is display inconsistent body language, but in a natural way. For example, they might shrug while saying, "I don't know," but the shrug is only half-formed, or they might nod slightly when talking about something they're unsure about. These micro-movements happen because real emotions are complex. A person who is being honest isn't performing for you. They're expressing themselves in real time, and that messiness often shows in the body. Compare that to someone who is lying. They tend to over-control their gestures, keeping everything too neat, too polished. Genuine truth often looks a little unpolished because it's real. The fourth sign is emotional leakage, or when small, unintended emotions slip through the face or voice. This happens because when people are telling the truth about something emotional, whether it's sadness, excitement, or even guilt, the brain struggles to suppress the raw feeling. You might hear a quick crack in their voice before they clear it, or see their eyes water for just a moment. Psychologists call these flashes micro-expressions, and they're almost impossible to fake. If you notice those fleeting, honest reactions, it's often a clue that the person's words are aligned with their inner reality. Fifth, people who are telling the truth often provide unprompted details. They'll mention things you didn't even ask about, not because they're trying to convince you, but because real memories are filled with sensory information. Someone describing a real event might casually mention how the room smelled of coffee or how the chairs squeaked when they sat down. These details spill out because the brain is retrieving an authentic memory. A fabricated story, on the other hand, usually lacks those organic little details because the person never experienced them in the first place. And sixth, truth tellers often show signs of nervousness, even when they have nothing to hide. Why? Because honesty can feel risky. When you admit something personal or reveal a truth that matters, your body releases stress hormones. That can make your palms sweat, your voice shake, or your posture tense. Unfortunately, many of us mistake these signs of anxiety as signs of lying. But in reality, being nervous while telling the truth is one of the most human reactions there is. It means the person cares about the outcome of your reaction and that their words matter deeply to them. Now, what do these 6 signs mean for you in everyday life? First, it means we should be cautious about jumping to conclusions. If someone looks away, hesitates, or seems nervous, that doesn't automatically mean they're hiding something. It may mean they're being completely honest and simply feeling human. Second, it invites us to practice empathy. When we realize that truth can look messy, we give others permission to be real with us. And third, it helps us recognize our own patterns. If you've ever wondered why you avoid eye contact when you're being honest, or why your voice shakes during a truthful confession, you can now understand that it's not weakness, it's authenticity. In your relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, try to listen with more than just your ears. Notice the little pauses, the unpolished gestures, the unfiltered details. These are often the fingerprints of honesty. And instead of pressuring people to look you in the eye or speak without hesitation, try to create an environment where they feel safe enough to be real. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation where the truth matters, remember these 6 signs: avoiding eye contact, pausing to recall details, natural inconsistencies in body language, emotional leakage, unprompted details, and nervousness. Together, they paint a picture of what honesty really looks like, and it's often far more raw, vulnerable, and human than the perfect image we expect. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this. Being honest takes courage, and recognizing honesty in others takes compassion. If we can practice both, we build stronger trust, deeper connections, and more meaningful relationships. If this video gave you insight or helped you see truth in a new light, I'd love for you to support this journey by liking the video, sharing it with someone who might need it, and subscribing to the channel so we can keep exploring psychology together. And remember, truth doesn't always come dressed in confidence. Sometimes it shows up in shaky voices, wandering eyes, or nervous hands. But that doesn't make it any less real. It makes it human. And being human, with all its imperfections, is something we all share. So, until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep learning about the incredible psychology that connects us all.